welcome.
Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to a brand new stream. Actually, I'm gonna wait for this to actually load. I know, like, it says 5. I'm just switched back for reasons. There we go. So, how has everybody else's day been going? For me, it's been pretty decent overall. Now we can switch. Okay, it's not showing. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Let's actually get something to eat. Let's check. All right. Okay. So, home, farm, mail, read. Cool. Oh, right. So, Bob, what exactly do you want to do tonight? Just curious. All right. No, wait. There we go. Cool. Where did I put that? Oh, wait, I need the smithing table. Okay. I should probably see how many eggs we have over here. A decent amount. And the fact is that I keep thinking, it's like, okay, we're gonna have coal coke, but then I still think cocaine. Murder. Uh-huh. Get back here. I should keep my eggs for, like, later, though. Like, if we have, like, a killing event coming up, then that would make my life a little bit easier to have all those eggs. Let's... Right now, just waiting for where I'm supposed to be going. Hello. Honda Lover. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good overall. Alright, I need food. I feel like no food. Cool. Open. Close. Okay, train. Not a train, but might as well take that. Ooh, I do need spite. Wait. Let me unload this real quick. Cool. Oh, right. I need to drop off the rest of my shit. And that goes in there. Let's... Okay. Perfect. I think that the first thing we would probably want to be focusing on would be to get a bunch of those trees knocked down first. I don't think I can. That's the problem. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so this is what we're supposed to be doing. You need some. Okay, never mind. Let's see here. How many do we... Okay. There we go. Cool, and it's night. Yay! Fuck. I'm just waiting for, like, nighttime to be over, cause... Yeah. I do have a amount of shit here. Mm. No, I want to keep that. Okay. Left a lot of shit here. Oh well. Okay. I'm gonna keep that though. Okay, that's at least somewhat better. Okay, much better. I want to keep those. Yeah, close enough. right now I just want to get like past time, so because it is really not ideal time to do shit out here right now. My lady in red, hear the last few words of your life. In the haunting dance, and a put in a trance, it's time to cast your spell on the night. There we go. Oh, wait. There we go. Alright, let's... I just want everything, like, condensed down to something that's, like, actually good and not just, like, feeling like it's mostly a bunch of empty shit. Yeah, there we go. And it's finally daylight. Actually, I can do this where, because this is technically part of my claim. Cool. High school love again. No rush. About my party kiss on. Okay, we're cutting down just a fuck ton of trees. Cool. Hey, Bob? I think that between the two of us, it would be much better for you to get the Train Master first than me. And the reason why I say that is because once we can get the a train line heading from like our house to Savannah, it would be, or literally anywhere that actually we can do sell hands. We could easily get the $1 million for me. And since you like trains the most, it would be much better for you to get it first. I mean, so long as we can, because I'm pretty sure, like, being Railroad CEO, there are several other people who have already done that, so... Oh, so one thing I did today was I was helping my mom with something. She was waiting for someone, and so she needed to wait at this different town, and the town has a Walmart. And so I suggested that while we wait for the person to get back to her, we go to the Walmart and shop the Easter specials and the Easter deals that come out from, well, hey, no problem. Take your time. Yeah, we were going to spend some time looking at all the Easter specials and stuff like that. Excuse me. And one of the things that I found on sale was the entire collection of Futurama. And it was $90-ish, which is a lot for, like, a lot of DVDs, but at the same time, though, usually, like, it's like $170. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go, and so for Easter, I made my own Easter basket filled with some candy and the entirety of Futurama. So all seasons of Futurama plus the movies. And the thing is, I have never seen Futurama from start to finish. I've seen episodes of it, so I know I like the show. I just haven't seen every single episode. when I was a kid, like somewhere around middle school, I would watch Futurama every single night. Because they would have reruns on Adult Swim. A lot of the episodes were reruns, and so I'd watch them on Adult Swim, and I would stay up really late, like all the way until like midnight. And my mom had no idea that I was doing that. But yeah, I got Futurama on sale for about half off. All the seasons. Also, welcome back, Bob. Bri! Enjoy the lurk, Bri. Thank you for showing up and saying hello. Let's see. Son of a bitch. Oh, right. So today we did have a massive glitch, which I probably actually need to submit to because I was recording it. So, long story, I was doing a recording to figure out how long it took to get from Severna all the way to Jersey City and back. I only figured out how long it took to get to Jersey City, considering the fact that when I was heading back to Severna from Jersey City, there was a glitch. So when I was passing by the switch, in order to like switch back to being on the right tracks, the right side, so I'm heading like on the right tracks, and then the other person on the left can pass me by, there was a massive glitch where my train car, all my train cars literally just decided to tell me to go fuck myself and freaked out. Like, they literally, all of them, just freaked out, and they were like, trying to think how to explain it, because it was so fucking random. That's the thing. So I had 6 train cars following behind my train, but the thing is that someone by the name of Trooper, I can't remember their full username on here, but Trooper was passing me by, and they ended up, all my train cars merged with their train cars. And then I got kicked out of my train because of that glitch, and so my train ended up going just without me, where Trooper, their entire train, just completely decided to derail. So it was a complete clusterfuck. Yeah, like, I can't explain why it happened. And someone, like, I was already, like, freaking out because this is the second time. And the first time I had a missing car, it was because I accidentally pressed a button. I accidentally pressed control when I didn't mean to. And that's how it happened. But then this one, it was like I had no idea what had happened. I don't know what I did. It was just being fucking weird. And then someone was like, well, just don't do that again. And I'm like, I'm already freaked out and stressed out beyond all belief trying to get my train car under control. And that's when I decided to rage quit the game because I was already so stressed from all of that. And then to have someone get a bit of what? So yeah, it was extremely stressful, especially because and I felt bad for Troop. So I ended up spending a little bit of time trying to get their train, like, and all of their cars back loaded into the area. Hi, can you die, please? Thank you. Please try to be more careful, Magic. I almost fucking killed you. Bob. Fuck. Let's see here. Baby, now and then, as you guys wanna wake up, dark as a lake, and then like a bonfire, lost in the haze. I'm thinking life, babe, I think it's great, but all in this world, I'd rather take my whiskey neat, my coffee black, and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. Welcome back, by the way. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black, and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. Die. Haha. Ah, son of a bitch. What? Bullshit. God damn it. I can't go back because, I already did the back command. I'm seeing like 5. Because... I fucked up. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. Let's see here. I would describe it as being a pretty good server. One second. Yeah, I really like this server. I need empty on my... Yeah, screw you. Yeah, I don't want to replace that, though, because... lava is extremely fucking rare. We might end it. Yeah, I will do so. Yeah, the problem with Java is that this particular version of Java is not available on console. Which really sucks for those who play on console. Oh well, at least I want to be in like second place instead of like last. Fuck about, yeah, I don't know. Ah, neat. Yup. Okay. Yeah, there's no shields in this, which makes it, combat a bitch and a half. Alright, now I'm back. Bob, show up. You want food? Where would out there get it in my... Ben! Welcome in, Ben! Let's see here. Let's see here. So, Ben, who actually is holding you hostage today? Just out of curiosity, would that be, Callie or Mary? Or did Luna send you here? Nice. try to get all of these taken care of real quick. Huh. Now that's good. Let's see here. Well, I said that before you gave the subscription, to be fair. Ben's out there paying ransom. If I subscribe to Avatar, will you finally let me go? There we go. Yeah, I would have streamed sooner this month, but I ended up getting sick on Monday, and so I was incapable of streaming or doing much of anything Monday. So that was fun. Yeah, Monday was bad. Holy shit. I actually sent, like, gosh, I sent Bob a message on GChat, because I'm like, okay, canceling stream, and at 4, and it was just, like, my message was basically, like, feel sick, can't stream, sleep now. And it was, like, I was just writing that, because I was, like, not even thinking, I was just, like, I need to not be on my PC when I feel like death. Well, normally I am too, but I'm pretty sure I was having a gallstone at the time. And for the people who are lucky enough to not... I mean, technically I was, almost, because it was that bad. Fortunately, I didn't need to necessarily take a shit ton of pain meds for that. In fact, I didn't take any that day. I just ended up spending like 3 hours in the bathtub trying to get my stomach to... Wait, die. Bastards. Haha, fuck you. Though I usually hate baths because, like, the bathtub we have is not deep enough for me, and so it's kind of like... Thanks, Ben. Yeah, I'm like... I want, like... The thing is, like, it's not that I necessarily hate baths as a concept. I think that baths are really good in general. It's just that... What is it? The issue with the bathtub that I have in particular, it won't fill up well enough, and so it's like I need to be fully submerged to enjoy a bath, but we don't have a bathtub that lets me. I'm kind of just like halfway submerged, which to me is unacceptable. I'm like, no, I need to be fully submerged. Why is there a sapling here? Showers are a lot better just because they're faster. Okay. Shouldn't that be easy to, like, get a new one? Like, literally any store that sells any sort of bath products would sell one. Like, this isn't like trying to find, like, a random fucking bathtub. Okay, that's fair. The last time we replaced any of our plugs, the last time, our house consists of, like, bathtubs and everything else. Ah. Alright. Okay, we're gonna set home here, so that way, when I die, I come back here and I don't have to, like... Ah. Like, all our bathtubs and everything are from, like, the fucking 70s. Which explains why our entire, upstairs sink can never get unclogged fully. It's just always going to be a slow drain despite everything we have done to the contrary, because our sink upstairs sucks. I've actually suggested on multiple occasions that my family just, Oh. Ah. Yeah, I've been Match and I have been trying to. I need to eat. Yeah, so, we've been trying to get to 1,000,000, and I have 627,321. Actually, I wonder how many times I've died so far. I should check that out. I mean, the thing is that there's a lot less I want to buy in this game for me. I mean, you should look at me in Palia. Fuck, I barely ever keep, like, any money in that game. I'm broke as shit in that game. Like, 95% of the time, I have no fucking money. Ben, sending a random fuck you to my messages would be a normal occurrence for you anyway. Well, I mean, to be fair, Ben, you also don't play Palia almost ever. Like, of course you don't have a lot of money in Palia. You barely play it. Exactly. You barely play it. I didn't say you never played it. You just barely do. So when you're, and so that means that it's not like you get blackmailed every single day. Because otherwise, the blackmail wouldn't cease to work. Bob, to be fair, the last time you played Palia was because my grandfather died and you felt really bad, and so you decided to play Palia because that was the only thing that was cheering me up after that, so... Dude, I blackmailed Bob into playing Paleo with me because my grandfather died, so... Like, so trust me when I say I am completely fine with blackmail. It's also how I got one of my girlfriends. She blackmailed me. I don't have a clip command. Yeah, I learned a valuable lesson. Bob, I told you about her, and I will explain off, chat. I've dated 2 people. I have learned life lessons I, in hindsight, should have never had to have learned. Never date someone who's blackmailing you, and never date a person you just met in a mental hospital while you are also a patient. What? Yeah, I've told this story before, so I sometimes feel like I, bring it up way too often, but yeah. My first girlfriend I met at a mental hospital. We started dating, and she turned out to be fucking insane. Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. Amazingly gets worse. So, the first girlfriend I had, not only did I meet her in a mental hospital, when we started dating, we went on several dates. I think it was the second date. She got a phone call. She ended up talking to her ex. Then, in the second date, she broke up with me to get back with her ex. No, before that, she broke up with me to get back with her ex. Then her and her ex broke up. She begged for me to get back with her. I was stupid, and I got back with her. And then the second time, then it was the second date, she broke up with me to get back with her ex. I was like, fine, whatever. This sucks, but, I probably should have expected that. So I break up with her officially. I'm like, okay, that's it. We're over officially. I forgot to block her because I was devastated, and I was still trying to process what the fuck happened because we were on a date. And then she calls me up the next day saying, hey, can we get back together? I'm like, fuck no. Fuck no, you broke up with me to get back with your ex a second time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, fuck no. I might not be the smartest person, but I sure as fuck have way more self-respect for myself than to be played around like that twice. And so that's how I ended up breaking up with my first girlfriend. And man, was that a pain in the ass, because I ended up having to block her. And then she would, Yeah, she would not leave me the fuck alone. Holy shit. For months afterward, I think it was like over a year after I broke up with her, she kept on trying to friend me on Facebook via multiple different accounts. And I kept blocking them because I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Bitch, this is not how it fucking works. You do not play around with my heart like that and expect me to just take you back like this. The problem is my second girlfriend's on Twitch, and I would rather not badmouth her on Twitch. I'm gonna keep that, like, more private just because it's not just the fact that, like, oh, it can get back to her. It's the fact that I have too much respect. Like, the first girlfriend, she's not on Twitch. Nobody knows who she is. Nobody knows who she is. The second one, some people do. So I don't want to be, like, airing out every problem. Yeah, which is why I'm not going to give any more details. The first one, yeah, go for it. I haven't spoken to her in forever. Because I think it's been like 3 years since I broke up with her. For the second girl, I don't know if we did or not, but we're still friendly. That's the thing. Like, did it end on good terms? Not really, but we're still very friendly to each other, and so, to me, that's what matters, is that we can be civil, and I just don't want to, like, name who this person is on the off chance that, like, people aren't as civil. One second. Here we go. Yeah, it was about understanding that we just weren't compatible as people. And it was like, yeah, she's a good person. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think that anything she has done in the past was deliberately or done out of malice. It's just that we are not compatible as romantic partners, and as a result, while I'm not exactly happy with all of her past behavior, I don't believe she deserves to be treated... I just don't believe she deserves to be treated less than because she's my ex. That's all. Then again, I am very biased. I'm like the first person to admit it. Like, a woman does wrong to me, I'm very fast to forgive them, despite it probably not being in my best interest. It takes a lot for a woman to piss me off that much where I'm like, yeah, fuck no, I'm not forgiving you under any circumstances. That does sound interesting. The thing is like, oh my god. I think, like, at one point, I got lucky because it wasn't like it was a friend of mine who I'm no longer friends with, and we had known each other for almost 10 years. And we had been friends for, like, an extremely long time. I know it was, like, a very long time we were friends. And the thing is that I forgave her way too many times. And while I'm trying to avoid getting too political because it's not just politics, she went off the deep end. Her and her wife went off the deep end, and they ended up not just being MAGA. Like, for some bizarre reason, these two lesbians became MAGA. They also became QAnon. And at that point, they were fucking psychotic. I'm not joking. They were fucking psychotic when they were talking. They were literally like, holy shit. And there was no getting back. They were that far gone that it was... Yeah, like, I'm like, how the fuck? I'm like, wait a minute. You're supporting Donald Trump. Oh, no, it gets worse. It gets worse. It wasn't just they were MAGA, lesbian, QAnoners. One was literally Latina. She was, I believe, she was from Puerto Rico. So it's like, okay, you're in favor of a man who will literally deport your wife. What the fuck? And so I unsubscribed to them. I actually had to get blocked by them. Because if I didn't, I would have kept crawling back and back no matter how many times they hurt me. I had to push them over the edge to block me in order for me to just get out of that situation because it was fucking destroying my mental health. Because I'm like, it's one thing to bring up politics every once in a while. It used to be a doll channel. Like, I subscribed to them because they liked dolls. That's what I liked. And I was watching their videos because I wanted to watch doll content. And then it just switched to nothing but politics. Politics all the time, horrible stuff. They would not stop bringing up, like, awful examples of child abuse. They wouldn't stop bringing up all of these things, and it's like, dude, this is too fucking heavy of a topic when I'm only here to watch doll videos. Like, what the fuck? Because I was, like, a moderator for them, too. Like, I was their moderator. I was a lot of things. And so I'm just like, what the actual fuck is going on? And, like, yeah, everybody has their rights to their own political opinions. It's just that they took it to the point where they would literally, oh my gosh, the one thing that I remember them saying the most was, I hope, yeah, enjoy having Joe Biden take all your dolls away. Enjoy I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus, that is insane to be, like, all of a sudden bringing that up. And it was funny because, like, I was only engaged, like, asking, like, very interesting questions, like, so, like, what if, like, what about, like, how would making renewable resources take away jobs? Like, if we were to actually make, like, if we were to move a lot of these jobs into the United States. Oh yeah, because she was like, she thought I was being a socialist. She believed that socialism and communism were basically the state comes and takes all your personal property. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, they were just insane. She assumed that if you were not for Donald Trump, then you were a socialist and a communist. Like, you were anti-capitalist, and it's like, what? Yeah, there's a reason why I stopped being their friends, because they were fucking insane. And, like, that's the thing, right? Like, it's the lack of respect that I got, and I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. You want us and everybody else around you to respect your beliefs on who is a good president, but on the flip side, you're not going to give anyone any respect unless they prescribe to your particular ideology. I think a lot of people nowadays are Democrat in name only. So that usually means that they don't believe in the Democratic Party, or they don't really like everything the Democratic Party is doing. It's just that they hate the Republicans more. And so I think we're seeing a lot more people who are leaning toward that, where it's like, you can, it's easy to acknowledge, hey, both sides have problems. But for some people, it's like, hey, I'm just going to say that this one particular side, I'm never going to go on. Okay, so to make it as vague as possible, I live in Pennsylvania, and the problem with my state, in the United States, the problem with the state of Pennsylvania is that if you have to pick a party for the primaries. That's the thing. You cannot have, so if you say you're an independent, you can't vote for any Democrats or Republicans in the primaries. Which is frustrating, because it means that you functionally have to lie about your political affiliation if you want to vote some years in the primaries. PA is a state that's really bizarre, because in some areas it can, like, in some laws it can be very progressive, and in other laws it's like you're going back to the 1600s. It's so bizarre. Because it took forever for, like, pot to become legal in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, so... Hold on. There we go. The funniest thing about Tim Waltz is that because of... I think the funniest thing about Tim Waltz is that someone said how he's technically a DEI hire. So, like, because you have Kamala Harris, who was a woman of color going for the presidency, they're like, okay, who can we get that would, like, balance this out? And so they went with Tim Waltz because he was in the military, he's a white man. Yeah, let's go with him. So, technically speaking, Tim Waltz is a DEI hire. By the definition that a lot of conservatives give. The problem here is that we're in a situation where, yes, both sides suck, but one side is clearly worse. And so it's like, how do you balance out criticizing one side without, like, giving credence to the other side? Because it's kind of like this idea of one side just wanting to, like, it's like, imagine having, like, an orphan crushing machine, right? Hey, that's fine. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just, yeah, the both sides. One side is clearly worse. It'd be nice to be, like, waking up and not having to deal with whatever the fuck he's doing ever again. Like, Jesus Christ. Though I was sick of him before he even became president. Like, I remember when he was in Home Alone. That was like, I'm like, man, your acting sucks. And that is a pivot, because I am going to switch to the topic of Home Alone. At least the Home Alone 2 movie. Home Alone 2 is actually a pretty decent movie, but I do not give a shit about it outside of, Oh, yeah. Yeah, I only like the Home Alone 2 because Tim Curry's in there, and I will literally, when I watch it, I will literally turn off the entire movie once Tim Curry's last line is played, because I'm like, I don't give a shit. Oh! The cool thing is, there are a lot of actually really good public domain movies. I'm not kidding. There are, like, Hell, if I can get it to work, because I need to find my, son of a bitch, I'm missing a cable, because I have a DVD player, but I just don't have, have the cable. I still need to find that because I fucked up and lost it. But I could probably do like Futurama nights where we watch like a few episodes of Futurama. Because I literally just got all of these seasons of that show, and I haven't seen all of it. I know Futurama is a really good show. I used to watch it a lot. I just never sat down and watched all of it. And I still use like a fuck ton of memes from there. Like, my favorite is, shut up and take my money. Okay, we moved on from that, but okay. Oh, no problem. No, I was just saying, like, hey, just letting you know, I wasn't, like, trying to, like, shame you or make you feel bad. I was just pointing that out. So, that's why I'm not gonna be, like, really responding to it. That's all. I feel like saying sick reality is kind of an understatement, so there's that. Then again, we also live in the reality where Futurama exists, which is funny as fuck. Well, I get what you mean. Yeah, for me, it's kind of like, I've always been that kind of person who I can't necessarily look at everything in an absolutist way. When I was a kid, I would always end up, like, if I had a bad day, I'd end up in an ironically worse mood because something good happened, and I was, like, always, like, incapable of saying my day was entirely bad. So my mom would be like, so, how was your day? I'm like, it was fine. And she'd be like, why are you so pissed off? And I'm like, because it was a shitty day, but this one good thing happened, and I can't say that my day was entirely bad. I was like, couldn't this have day had just been all bad so I didn't feel like I couldn't say, like, because I was all like, I hate being this optimistic. Damn you. There's an upside to being an optimist, and then there's a downside to being an optimist. What was it? There's a really fun saying that goes, I'm a pessimist because either I'm right or I'm pleasantly surprised. Ooh, Ooh, that's neat. What? Well, at least I'm not dead. Oh, my favorite fun history fact is Julius Caesar. So, at one point in history, Julius Caesar got kidnapped, and I don't remember by who. I just know he got kidnapped, and the people who kidnapped him held him at ransom. I think it was like something around 23 like gold shillings. And Caesar found out about this and was fucking furious because he was like, how dare you like have a ransom this low? This is outrageous. And so he demanded that his captors up the double the ransom and then ordered his men to pay the ransom. I think the funniest thing was I actually got that there was a trivia night where someone actually said true or false Julius Caesar got escaped from pirates, and I'm like, false, but that's because he had them pay the ransom. And that's why he was offended that the ransom, and I got that one right. Yeah. There's some historical moments I know of that are like really funny because that I'll just remember because I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I've gotten several trivia night questions right because I'm like, yeah, this I'm like, yeah, I know for a fact that this isn't the answer because I know the real answer, and this is it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Another good question was true or false. Hold on, I need to kill something real quick. God damn it. Alright, at least he can't get to me. Yeah, it was like, I actually need to find it. Oh yeah. So someone's like, true or false? Was there like, in Boston, did a bunch of people drown in beer? I'm like, no, it was molasses. And that's only half true. It was molasses. The Great Molasses Flood in Boston, yeah, Boston, Massachusetts, the Great 1919 molasses flood. Honda Lover. Okay, because I'm like 50 bones. Where are you going exactly? A witch doctor? Are we talking about animal bones? Human bones? I don't know where you're gonna get 50 bones, human bones from. Usually those are more expensive, 'Cause, you know, grave robbing, all that, kind of frowned upon. Oh, my favorite, so this isn't even really a story as much as it is, like, just a brief history on the name. So, in Japan, there is a chocolate brand known as Meiji. Meiji chocolate is really good. I've had it before. I actually think it's one of the better chocolates. And the funny thing is that Meiji was an actual era in Japan. So there is the Meiji era, which I believe was shortly before World War II. It was this, like, really. There we go. Meiji era, which took. Yeah, it was like, the Meiji era was because was like from 1869 1868 all the way till 1912. And so the Meiji era was because it was you had Emperor Meiji, who ruled through those years, and so and then someone said, Meiji used to be an emperor, now is a chocolate bar. The funny thing is that there is some debate on who came up. The funny thing is that there are some people, that the drug methamphetamine, I believe, was first I can't remember if it was first synthesized. I know that I'm pretty sure it was independently synthesized in both Germany and Japan. My go-to brand is Mocha brand, and I like their white chocolate the most. Though that is expensive as fuck. I think Mocha is like $50 per pound. I prefer white chocolate, but only from certain brands, and that's because Mocha makes the best, in my opinion. Because the problem with a lot of white chocolate is that companies will sweeten it like milk or dark chocolate when. Yeah, they'll use like the same sugar content throughout all of their chocolates, but the problem is that because white chocolate doesn't have as much cocoa solids as other kinds, you end up with a product that tastes too sweet because there is nothing that needs to be balanced out. You don't need to balance out all of this sweet. You don't need the amount of sweetness for the product because there's not a lot of bitterness to white chocolate. Yeah, I do prefer my white chocolate just because I think that it's one of the better. when I think like at one point my oh my gosh, what was it? Avatar: The Last Airbender. So it was the season finale of the show, right? Like the series final. Sozin's Comet Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it was like a 2-hour event. And I distinctly remember chugging down an entire 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper in that time. At least. There is a possibility that I drank more than that because I was that thirsty, but I was like chugging down Dr. Pepper, I chugged down an entire 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper, had an entire bag of Doritos, and a ton of cereal. Damn, that's not working at all. At some point we should. You can just take it down with your hands though, because you can't do it all in one go. Something I really miss is, Butterfinger BBs. They haven't sold them in ages, but I remember eating them as a kid, and I loved them. And then they stopped being made, and I was pissed. Oh, yeah. Shit, I'm blanking on the name too, because I did really like those as well. If you like Skittles, they actually do have Skittles minis. Do need to eat, because... Okay, I need to unload all my shit because I have too much. Haha. Oh, magic! Bob. Something I just figured out recently is that, for every 5 blocks you go, you make about $1 if you go 100 miles per hour. So I think that's a pretty useful metric where, like, I don't know, maybe a few rides from like going from that, oh god, what is it? Don't have a map, so it's like going from Severna all the way to Grand Sur and back again might actually be like a decent amount of money, even without scrap. Hell, you could probably go from the top of the map all the way to the bottom. Ooh. Oh, by the way, Honda, the Hershey Kisses you were talking about are most likely Hershey Kissables. Because those were, miniature, Hershey Kisses, that were discontinued in 2009. Oh, yeah, M&M Minis. Hold on. Oh, yeah, they still get sold. Just not often, but they're still sold. you can. Yeah, they don't just come in the tubes. They come in these, like, you can get them in, yeah, you can get them in the big, resealable bags as well. Oh yeah, go for it. Oh, magic, Bob. Sorry. At some point, we should actually play Peak on stream. Now that I have a better idea of what the fuck's going on. Do it! Do it! Do it, Honda. Make that your first post, okay? Go for it. Let's see. I will encourage anyone to do whatever I want. You got me interested. I need to know what that is. How much money do I have? Bob, you should know this by now. I am a certified pain in the ass, okay? That's kind of my job. Nice. Okay, not nice. Being yeeted into, like, a pit. One of my favorite history facts is the fact, oh, what, who is it? Shit, I know, Christopher Lee, I believe. I believe he was one of the last people to witness someone being executed via guillotine. It's just fascinating that it took so long for France to stop using it. There's also, oh my god, I wish I could remember the years that it took place, but I know for a fact that at one point the French Navy, their flag was literally just a white banner. If I recall correctly, that is exactly why the France has a history of surrendering immediately. I think that's a part of why France gets that joke. Because, like, it literally was just a white flag. That was the flag of the Navy for France. Yeah, I think it was like around the time that the original Star Wars came out. Let's see here. Yeah, the naval ensign of France prior to prior to 1789 and between 1814 and 1830 was literally just a white flag. Oh, fuck. I know there's a mental condition named after France. I just can't remember the name of it. Paris syndrome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Paris syndrome. Yes, Paris syndrome, Paris, in Japan, it's actually really well known in Japan. Paris shokogun is a sense of extreme disappointment exhibited by many individuals when visiting Paris who feel that the city does not live up to their expectations. The condition is commonly viewed as a severe form of culture shock. The cluster of psychiatric symptoms have been particularly noted amongst Japanese tourists, perhaps due to the way in which Paris has been idolized in Japanese culture. The syndrome is characterized by symptoms such as acute delusional state, hallucinations, feeling of persecution, perceptions of being a victim, a prejudice, aggression, hostility from others, derealization, depersonalization, anxiety, as well as psychosomatic manifestations such as dizziness, tachycardia, sweating, most notably, but others such as vomiting. So yeah, there's an actual syndrome named after France because Paris because of the amount of people who think like, oh, France is so wonderful, and then they go to France and realize it's like every other fucking country on Earth. So yeah, that's a fun little bit of trivia. My favorite bit of trivia, especially when it comes to Japan, is the fact that the word kami usually refers to like a really high divine being. So the word kamikaze literally translates to divine wind. Literally, kame, divine being, god, and kaze being wind. And the thing is that the kamikaze isn't just linked to World War II. It's actually linked to that was actually the name was given because of a history of a typhoon in Japan. So Japan's notorious for getting typhoons. That's just Japan in a nutshell. But one of the things that was really relevant was one year. I don't remember exactly the years that it happened, but there were two typhoons that happened when Mongolia was trying to invade. Yeah, when the Mongol Empire was trying to raid the Japanese, they ended up getting two typhoons, one after the other, preventing the Mongols from actually invading Japan. And so it was literally named Kamikaze as a nod to how it was literally divine intervention, the divine wind. Japan is also a country where they really do like adding like a fuck ton of symbolism into their media. A great example would be 95% of animes that you ever watch, most of them will have some kind of symbolism in the show. There we go. And what's funny is that in Dragon Ball Z, there's literally a character named God. Did you know that in some point in history, I believe it was a Russian radar operator who was in charge of watching for nuclear missiles, got a warning of incoming ICBM, and the operator had a gut feeling it wasn't real and opted to not retaliate. This guy got warned from a warning for incoming nukes and disregarded it on a gut feeling. Turned out it was a technical glitch. Oh yeah, there was I remember that. There is arguments that at some point it was 3 men in a submarine. There was a group of men in the submarine, and they were all supposed to vote on whether or not they retaliated because they wanted to make sure, like, it wasn't just one person, right? But that one guy in particular, he voted no. He voted do not do anything, and he was the deciding vote on whether or not they did that. I don't remember, like, the exact details on why he was. He just was the deciding vote. And as a result of him voting no, we didn't end up going into, like, pure nuclear war. Because it was an error. It was a technical glitch. And he just said, don't do anything. We're not going to report it. He got yelled at for going against everybody else, but they still had to respect it. But he was, like, later acknowledged as a hero for that. Yep, I know that story. I'm just, like, clarifying that, yeah, it wasn't just, like, one guy who, like, was in the situation, but he was the main factor in preventing that from happening. He was, like, the final vote they needed to either, like, go ahead and retaliate or do nothing, and his vote literally saved the planet. Because he was the deciding factor. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Well, not completely, but I am familiar with the story, so there's that. If I die, I die. I need to get more food anyway, because we're kind of low, and I want to stay here longer. Oh my gosh, so I just learned about this, and I really wish I could remember, like, the names of it, because, actually, hold on. Once I get to a safe place, I'll actually recommend it. Oh, that's fair. I only know that story because, I literally just binge watch a fuck ton of, like, everything, so there's that. This isn't really as much of a fact that a lot of people are going to even really appreciate. It's very much more of an ironic thing. So the Soviet Union had a ton, just a ton of hold on. Oh, I think it was called Beautiful Beyond. So there was this Soviet Union movie And in the show, it was a movie or show, but it was the girl from the future, I believe. And it was like a really popular show in the Soviet Union for a while. Guest from the future. That's it. I don't know how I died, but okay. Fine. Fuck you, game. Anyway. Guest from the Future was a relatively popular television miniseries. That's it. It was a television miniseries, and the reason why I bring this up is because the main theme song, The Beautiful Afar, was very, very popular. The thing is that the song itself is about hoping for a better future, and it was written sometime, yeah, it was written in, it was like one of the biggest hits in the 1980s. Martian! Hi, Martian! Yeah, it was considered one of the, yeah, A Beautiful Afar was Beautiful Afar, written in 1984, released in 1985. Yeah, it was written just a few years before the collapse of the Soviet Union, and a lot of people still find it to be kind of like a haunting reminder of... There we go. It will be okay. You got this, Martian. You got this. And a lot of that is because the lyrics to the song itself are functionally about hoping that the future is basically it's literally just saying, hey, please be kind to me, future. Let's see if I can find the lyrics. Oh yeah, beautiful afar, don't be cruel to me, don't be cruel to me, don't be cruel. From a pure source to the beautiful afar, to the beautiful afar, I begin my journey. Chernobyl technically is in Ukraine, though. I know that it's in the Soviet Union, so it counts, but it is in Ukraine. I mean, the good thing is that I'm, like, completely obnoxiously loud, so I should be able to keep you awake. I think one of the saddest things about Chernobyl that, like, outside of, like, the obvious is the fact that Pripyat itself as a city, when they finally did decide to evacuate, was evacuated very quickly. The city itself was actually designed perfectly well for evacuations. Everything about the city was basically ideal. Like, I get the idea that it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea in terms of aesthetics, but the city was just like an amazing place. If we're just looking at it from a design point of view in how well it managed to be able to run as a city. And that's the thing, when dealing with architecture, when dealing... I mean, there are still plenty of buildings in the US, in Russia and places like that, where a lot of these houses are still standing. Like, I think a lot of people give a lot of shit to the Soviet Union's architecture without realizing that sometimes form over it shouldn't be form over function. That's the thing. I mean, the radiation has actually improved significantly. It's just that it's too, like, you can go to there for a while. Yeah, I think that to me is the biggest problem I've heard about too many people who talk about Soviet Union style properties, and that is, oh, they're so ugly. And it's like, okay, but you know what's uglier? Literally having to see people suffer from homelessness. Like, that to me is uglier. And the thing is that the Soviet Union, for as many rightfully good criticisms you can give to them, I'm not going to sit here and defend everything they've done. I think that they've done some pretty fucked up shit, but we cannot overlook how the Soviet Union did some pretty amazing things, such as actually getting a lot of people into houses. It actually improved the literacy rate, because I think before the Soviet Union came, I think it was like less than 10% of the population was illiterate at all. Like, the illiteracy rate was so fucking low. And then you got, like, okay, we're in ads. Sorry. Wee. I did. I'm pretty sure I resubbed you. So there's that. Perfect. So it's almost done. Well, the thing about the Soviet Union was that a lot of it came down to Joseph Stalin. And that cough wasn't to hide anything. I literally just had a cough. Yeah, Joseph Stalin really fucked things up for everybody. And he is what I consider up to be the biggest reason why the Soviet Union just really couldn't take off. Hi, Hammer. Nice to see you. I mean, and it is worth remembering that the Soviet Union went from, some of the, like, to say Joseph Stalin was a bad dude is, underselling it. Like, as someone who actually, I am someone who actually likes socialism and to some extent communism, hate Joseph Stalin. Like, anybody who unironically defends Joseph Stalin in any way, shape, or form, just fucking run. Because this guy literally left his son to rot in prison because he thought his son was a failure. This guy was cruel to everybody. And the funniest thing about Joseph Stalin, the funniest thing is that because he was such a dick to every human being that he ever met, he died. Joseph Stalin was notoriously prone to bouts of severe anger. Also, this is the song that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he was so notoriously easy to be pissed off that the day he died, no one went to his aid. No one knew what to do. They were like, "Oh, do we wake him up? How do we proceed? He hasn't like moved in his bedroom in ages." And finally, they found out that like he had I think it was like a stroke. And they only found out because like someone finally had the bravery to do something about him. But for the most part, had he not been so strict with everybody, had he not been so do not leave me alone, do not talk to me unless I speak to you first, he wouldn't have died. He literally died because he had basically ordered everybody to leave him the fuck alone. And so when he needed people, they just left him the fuck alone because they didn't know if there was an issue or not. My favorite thing is that, like, a lot of people associate Joseph Stalin with Russia. The thing is, he wasn't from Russia. He was from Georgia. I think what's funny, a great example of what really matters is less about the economic situation, and what matters more is who's in charge. A great example of this is, unironically, South Korea. South Korea and North Korea are considered to be great examples of how communism doesn't work, except for the fact that you have to only look at modern day situations to come up to that conclusion. Because if you had asked someone back after the Korean War, shortly after the Korean War, most people would have told you the successful Korea was North Korea, which it was. North Korea was the successful Korea because of the, because for a while, North Korea literally was, given a lot of beneficial help from China and Russia. Largely, the Soviet Union and the People's Republic of China really did help North Korea, and so North Korea, for a short time, ended up being the most successful between the two. There is a catch, though. North Korea had a history, because Kim Il-sung was obsessed with media, and so was his son Kim Jong-il. Both of them were especially Kim Jong-il, he wanted the media to be portraying the two as like these really dear leaders, and so a lot of movies were made, things like that. And in a paradoxical twist of events, the thing that caused North Korea to completely collapse was ironically a capitalistic concept, aka debt. North Korea ended up taking out a ton of loans to make so much propaganda, and none of the propaganda made any profit. It just sucked. Nobody, not even in North Korea, not even North Korean people wanted to watch the propaganda that was given. They had no other option. And they're like, we're not watching this shit. Yeah, they spent tons of money. I think it was like millions upon millions of dollars they didn't have on propaganda movies. And the movie sucked. That's the biggest thing to take away from this. Their movies fucking sucked. Everybody was like, what? No, we're not watching this shit. Fuck off. And so, when the Soviet Union collapsed, China just stopped giving North Korea money because they're like, hey, you haven't even paid us back for all the fucking movies you made, you bastards. Why the fuck are we gonna give you more money? So North Korea lost out on a ton of money. They couldn't even get, like, they couldn't get anything from China. The Soviet Union couldn't give them shit. And so everybody started really distancing themselves from North Korea. And North Korea was really fucked after that. That's what really caused the decline. In an ironic twist, it was capitalism that destroyed North Korea. My favorite fact about North Korean propaganda is actually the fact that ABBA, whenever they made a movie that was portraying the outside world, for some inexplicable reason, they chose ABBA songs. And that was it. You did not get any other songs other than ABBA songs. Yeah, they're like, okay. Yeah, just ABBA. That's it. And the funny thing was, a lot of North Korean movies that actually portrayed anything outside of North Korea was actually considered to be a catalyst for people just fucking leaving North Korea. People just left. They're like, hey, you guys say the outside world is really, really shitty, but, this doesn't look that bad, so we're gonna take our chances and just fuck off and leave North Korea. Which isn't great. It's also worth noting that North Korea technically can't be considered to be, because it wasn't naughty. That is a good joke. Because you don't, because there's no E in, naughty. So, you can't, so E got presents because all the other letters could be found in the word naughty. Oh yeah, because they were not E. They're not the letter E. That's it. Yeah, that's how you write it. You know what's funny? I kind of got it, and I was like, it's still, like, somehow, I simultaneously got the joke, and yet it also went over my head. I have no idea how the fuck that happened. Mom, it took me a second to realize what the punchline was, and I still answered the fucking punchline correctly. Oh, okay, so has anybody ever seen the 90s film known as, Three Ninjas? Okay, so my favorite fun fact about that movie is that I think of it, I don't know if it was the director or the producer, but one of the really high-end up people who made the movie was actually a South Korean director who ended up in, it was this guy who got kidnapped by North Korea for several years. Okay, not the director. Someone on the film's production was literally, I know it was one of those movies where he was, yeah, it was, sorry about that. Shin Sang-ok. Shin Sang-ok was literally kidnapped. Yeah, 3 ninjas knuckled up. I think it was like one of the sequels. Yeah, it was a sequel to 3 Ninjas and 3 Ninjas Kickback. It was like the 3rd film, and he directed it. Shin Sang-ok. It was 3 Ninjas, but the later ones. So yeah, that's a fun story. Like, the guy got kidnapped by... Yeah, I know there were at least 3, and the guy managed, Shin Sang-ok was the guy who directed the 3rd, and he was actually known for being kidnapped and held hostage by Kim Il-sung for several years. And my favorite story about Shin Sang-ok is that at one point, he escaped the guards by stealing one of their cars, and he was arrested pretty quickly because he was the only guy in a car. Like, nobody else in North Korea really had a car like that. Like, it was already rare to have a car. But the fact that he had that particular car was a dead giveaway. It was him. So he was caught very quickly. My favorite story about him is the fact that he got away from North Korea. Before he got away, he actually, him and his wife, they were, he had gotten divorced from his ex-wife, and his ex-wife was lured into North Korea, for, like, a job opportunity. And then she was kidnapped. And he was kidnapped because of her, because they wanted him first, but they needed his actress wife to lure him into a situation where they could kidnap him. And then, via being kidnapped, him and his ex-wife ended up trauma bonding over the experience, and they legitimately got remarried for sure, like, for real. Yeah, like, you managed to get 5 stars the second you got a... The guy had 5 stars before he even stole the car. Like, he was already, like, the most wanted person on Earth the second he managed to escape. And him and his wife realized that in order, even if they escaped North Korea, even if they managed to escape, no one would believe them. No one would believe that they didn't defect, because at the time of them trying to get out, several people had already defected to North Korea at that point. And so they were like worried that people wouldn't believe them. So they got a tape recorder of the they got a tape recorder, and then they spoke to Kim Jong-il, and they talked to Kim Jong-il like friends, and they were mentioning like the kidnapping, and they got Kim Jong-il to confess that he kidnapped them. Kim Jong-il was like, oh yeah, that misunderstanding, you know, like, well, I had to kidnap you because otherwise, you know, you wouldn't have agreed to come to North Korea. But we're friends, right? We're all friends. And they were like, yeah, we're totally friends. We're totally friends. And that's when I don't remember exactly which country. I think it could have been Switzerland, because Switzerland is neutral to North Korea. But the thing is, they were like, yeah, you know what? We need to actually go to, this country in order to get some ideas for our next movie. And Kim Jong-il 100% agreed, let them get to the country, and that's when they ran. They just booked it all the way to the embassy. They just ran to the South Korean embassy and were like, please save us. And that's how they managed to escape North Korea. They literally just tricked Kim Jong-il into just letting them leave, basically. And with the tape recorder, they were able to not go to jail for what had happened. Because they're like, look, we didn't defect to North Korea. We had no fucking choice in the matter. So yeah, that's just basically the story in a nutshell. They got into North Korea, they just got out by like just walking. They walked the fuck out. And this was around the time that we already had several US military personnel who had defected to North Korea. I don't remember all of their names. I do know that Sergeant Dresnok, the soldier known as Dresnok was actually the last person. He was one of the people who defected to North Korea back at the during the Korean War. And to my knowledge, he is the only person who defected to North Korea who never left. He never left North Korea, and he officially died in North Korea sometime around 2012? Yeah, James Joseph Dreadnought. 2016. That's it. He was he passed away sometime in November of 2016. And he is the ironically, he was actually born in November too. He was born November 24th, 1941, and he passed away sometime in November of 2016, though nobody actually knows the exact day. He called himself Joe Dresnok, but his full name was James Joseph Dreadnought. And he defected to North Korea in 1962, and he is the only North Korean defector that I know of who willingly stayed in North Korea for the rest of his life. And I do say willingly because there are a few people who have died in North Korea that, like, weren't there, like, didn't want to stay in North Korea. But he was like, yeah, he was officially the only person that I know of who willingly went to North Korea and was willing to stay in North Korea. A lot of people who defected to North Korea, all of them have very similar stories, and that is they were in trouble with the US military. I know that Joseph Dreadnought, he actually defected because he was actually so fucking sick and tired of his life in the United States. He was in the middle of a divorce. His he was the military wasn't exactly happy with him. And so he defected to North Korea because he wanted an out from his marriage at that point. He wanted out. He didn't want to pay child support. So he was willing to do anything to get the fuck out. I'm pretty sure one person was court-martialed, so he abandoned his post because he was already, like, he was in a lot of trouble with the military. There are some people that I know there's this one girl from North Korea. Not girl, woman. There's one woman from North Korea where she ended up back in North Korea for reasons we don't know. And to this day, we don't know exactly what happened to her. We just know that she ended up back in North Korea. And so I don't count her in the same way I would count Joseph Dreadnought, because he genuinely went to North Korea willingly, and despite the multiple offers from the US government to get him out of North Korea, he never took them up on the offer. That's cool. I'm about to end stream anyway, because it is about that time, because we've been on for 3 hours, and it's about 10 p.m. 9 p.m. for you, Bob. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the views. I appreciate everyone being here. Yeah, it's late, and I know for a fact that it takes, like, half an hour just to get from Severna to Jersey City. So, I don't think you have the time tonight to do one. So, I am going to raid. If you can stay with the raid, that'd be great. After that, you are free to go. Let's see here.
Huh. What have we here?
So, a good person I like to raid, thank you, Bob, is to raid Oodles of Noodle, who is a very good watch. I highly recommend her. She's very entertaining. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a good night. Have a good day. Wherever you are, just have a good one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe. Be well. Bye.